So how important is like passion in terms of basketball players and just in life also though?
Yeah, I think passionate people attract others. You know, I'm not into big Eeyore guys. I'm not into guys that come in. I can't. I don't do.
That's not your DNA.
No. I don't do moody real well. That's not part of it. But I tell them, you know, there's guys that like it. Those guys, I hope they don't want to come here. Yeah, those guys that like it, they're not much fun. They probably won't like it here. There's guys that love it. You can win games with those guys. Yeah. But the guys you win net championships with, you cut down nets with guys that'll live it. But it takes time.
Okay.
It takes time.
Yeah,
you know, it doesn't happen overnight. You know, and now you kind of have to microwave this stuff.
I know.
Because it goes so fast.
It goes so fast, especially when you don't have
It's a 10-month deal.
Yeah, you don't have much time with some of these players now.
So you just try to microwave it as much as you can and then double down on what you believe in.
From a live-it perspective, how teachable is that?
Well, I think we're resourced to a point here that we can, whether it be nutrition, the weight room, how do you sleep, our administration's made a significant investment in it, and I think you can help them learn how to live it. Yeah. And you know, a lot of these guys, they think they want to play beyond college, and if you're gonna, the guys that really play for a long time, the guys that learn how to live it.
That's right. Yes.
If you know, are they the guys when you walk in, they're tying their shoes, they're the guys that are already stretched out, shirts tucked in, and they're ready to go.
Ready to go.
Those are the guys.
Yeah,
that's your guy right there.
Yeah.
You don't. It's really, it's hard to define or explain, but you're sure know it when you see it.
Yeah. Oh, yes, exactly. And I think there's something to be said about that it factor. Tons. And you can recruit guys, you can see the skill level, all of that, but there's something about they just walk into a room, whatever it is, that it factors.
No doubt. And those are the people you're attracted to. Yeah. Those are people like, give me a room full of those guys. I tell the guys in recruit, we want to overload our locker room with high character guys. Okay. Overload the locker room. Yeah. Just keep throwing them in there.
Okay.
And you'll usually look out how that recipe turns out.
Yeah, for certain.
There's guys that, you know, and I think even now though, I think it's so important. I know we're in a different world, but having Samford on the front of that jersey got to mean something too. Mm-hmm. And we don't put their names on the back. Yeah. And it's we break down every day. We are Samford.
Samford, yeah. And that's intentional.
Absolutely. We are Samford.
Okay.
We represent Samford University. We represent what the school stands for, and we're not going to shortcut that. You know, the longest distance between 2 points is a shortcut. Yeah. And we're going to be who we are. And, you know, sometimes that might not be enough to win as much as you want to win, but I don't think you ever apologize for doubling down on what does our school stand for, what's it believe in.
That's right. Was that something you had to learn? You've been coaching for a long time. And I mean that in a positive way, a good thing, not to age you.
Yeah, no, I have. And, you know, I think it's easy to get caught up, well, I heard this school got this guy and this school got that guy and they paid this guy that. That doesn't in our world. I mean, every single team in our league does a good job. Yeah. Every single team is going to have good players. We can't do one thing in the world about that. What we can do something about is us. Yeah. That's it. We have to play them 2, maybe 3 times a year. But we just got to, I think, all I want is these guys and our team to be the best version of themselves. Mm-hmm. Whatever that is. Yeah. And I want them to walk around this campus and represent our program the right way. And I want people that go to school here to say, wow, you know, I enjoy being in class with that player. Because we go to class and school's important. And I think just knowing I can't worry about what everybody else is doing.
That's right, yeah.
I think you need to enjoy being together.
You do.
It needs to be fun.
Yes.
Like we're not trying to split the atom here. Like we're trying to win a basketball game and be good at basketball. It's not rocket science.
That's right.
But I think you're always a lot better with people you enjoy.
Oh, there's no doubt.
All right, really good first day. Really good first day back. 10 days off is a while, but we did a good job of picking up where we left off. But we, like the further we go, and we'll start tightening this up, like we don't want to settle for average. Well, if we got too much good stuff inside what we do to be settling. We just got to value the things that win every day. What habits help us win? Playing off 2 feet, throwing strikes. I mean, everybody talks about, well, defense travels or rebounding travels. Fundamentals travel. Fundamentals is going to get you where you want to go on both ends of the floor. Hey, you just want to keep it simple. Don't overthink it. Just keep it simple and trust what we're doing. But we keep working like that, we're going to be fine, okay? Keep kicking the can down the road, okay? All right, let's pray. Dear God, thank you for today. Thank you for getting everybody back. Thank you for everyone in this circle, and I pray that all we do would continue to grow together and honor you. In Christ's name we pray. Amen. All right, we are together. All right, great job, great job, great job.
All right, another two-man weave segment with Cade Norris here at Samford men's basketball. All right, Cade, talk to me about now not playing with your brother Keaton, but now he's on the coaching staff. What is that like? How much grief is he giving you?
It's a little different. It's honestly awesome to have him, and he knows so much about the game.
Yes.
So being able to learn from him, and I don't know if I'm going to take him yelling at me very much, but it's been awesome to have him around.
Now, how does it, in terms of, you had your dad coach you, so is Keaton a little bit like your dad from a coaching perspective?
I don't know about right now he's like him, but I think someday he'll be a lot like him.
Okay.
So.
And what was that like being coached by your dad?
There was some good and bad, but mostly it was awesome to be able to learn from him, coach with him, and then there's memories you'll never forget.
Of course. Yeah. How did you balance though the aspect of it's coach versus dad, and sometimes it might not be the same as he's a parent to you, but then also having to coach you somewhat maybe hard on the court.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was ever easy. I think he did such a good job when we went home, we kind of went into dad mode. Okay. It was no longer coach, so that helped a lot. But it was an honor to be coached by him and to live every day and want to strive for greatness with him. Yeah.
All right. So how was it though growing up in the Norris family? I mean, how competitive were you guys? I mean, everybody is a sports person.
Definitely competitive. Yeah. There were a lot of fights. Yeah. I got beat a lot. I think me and my younger brother are a lot better because of those two. Okay. Because they beat up on us, and to be honest, we lost a lot growing up.
You did.
So it was just that way, but it was awesome to be able to learn from my older brothers.
Did it ever turn though? That, hey, now I can, I'm not getting pushed around anymore. Don't bully me.
Yeah, in high school it definitely turned, and then I think because those two are retired now. So the younger two, I think we got them now.
That's right. Yes, you can take them. Uh-huh. All right. So how good is your younger brother though?
He's got a chance. I'm not going to give him too much credit. But
okay. He's still got some work to do.
He's got some work to do, but he's got a chance to be a good player.
All right. You're back here at Samford. Was there ever any thought of transferring out of Samford? I know that there's a lot going on with college athletics in the landscape, but it seems that you might have found a home here at Samford.
Yeah, there was never a thought for me. I love this place, and, coach is the best. I think we're building something special, and I think last year's team built the foundation of what we want to be, and I think we got a chance to be really good here, and I'm here to stay. Yeah. How the first year for you in the Southern Conference, what was the biggest takeaway for you? A lot of talent in the league. Yeah. A lot of talent. I mean, there's so many. The race was so close last year. Yeah. I mean, first place, second, it was all so close, but every game's big, just like anywhere in the country. And, it's a good league, and got to be ready to go every night. That's right. What about the tournament in Asheville? What was that atmosphere like? Oh, the tournament's awesome. The atmosphere was awesome. It'd been nice if we played a few more games there. Yes, exactly. I know that's a tough one against Furman there. Yeah, but it was a great place, and it was probably the most fun game of the year. Yeah, for certain. All right, so heading into this 2026 season, in terms of you're coming back, Isaiah Campbell-Finch is coming back, Will Shaver's coming back. Mm-hmm. But outside of that, I mean, you're bringing in a whole new crew from that standpoint. How are you guys trying to bond together right now? Yeah, I mean, I think it's like that for everybody right now. Yes, it is. It's nothing special, right? No, so, just getting together outside the court. I think Coach does such a good job of recruiting where we don't have any bad guys on the team. So everybody's a good dude, and, every day in practice, learning each other's games, getting more chemistry, playing together. There'll be some bumps in the roads during the season, during non-conference, but I think we have a good group of guys in the right group to figure it out down the way. All right, so what do you do to bond off the court? I mean, I know you're talking about a lot that you do on the court, working out and all of that. What about when you have some downtime? Yeah, a lot of just going out to eat, hanging with the guys, a lot of pool time because it's so hot here. Okay, so, yes. A lot of pool time, and then, we'll play some cards, stuff like that. Okay, all right. So who's the best card player then? Definitely not me. I'll give it to Brandon Fusell right now. Oh. I'll give him that one. Okay, yeah, there you go. And what's the restaurant of choice here? Probably the Soho taco spot. It's a good taco spot. I think that's probably my favorite. That's a go-to for our team. Okay, I love it. All right, so Coach Acuff, he's a guy that I don't know where he gets them from.
he has all these different sayings.
Yeah.
And so what's one of your favorite ones or one that's memorable for you?
There's so many. I need to write them all down.
I know, that's right. I want to know who his ghostwriter is.
Yeah, I know. My favorite right now is like, he calls it eat the frog. So in the morning, you got to be selfish in the morning so you can be selfless the rest of the day. So do everything you need to do in the morning so you can be selfless the rest of the day. I don't know why he calls it eat the frog.
Yeah, okay.
That's probably my favorite
That's
right now.
what he does. All right, so is that epitomize you though? I mean, are you a guy that an early riser and want to get your day going pretty early?
I'm getting better. I don't say I'm perfect, but I'm getting better. And I always like to work out in the morning to get my day started. But yeah, I'm getting better at it.
Okay. Well, here comes 2026 season. Ready to go?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, Coach Acuff here joining us on SoCon Fast Break.
Yeah.
How excited?
Honored.
Oh, no, it's the other way
well,
around, sir. How excited do you get each, right here, summer, getting ready for a new season?
Yeah, it's so different now. You get a whole new team almost. And
That's
so
right.
you get new information every day. So I go home and I'm like, I didn't realize they could do this or do that, or we better get better at this or we better get at that. But I love coaching. I really enjoy our group. I thought we had a great group last year with high character. And I think we got the same type of character and people in our locker room.
Yeah, so it seems that way. Just from the energy I could see out there on the court.
Yeah, they're really, really good kids, and they make my job fun. When you're at my age, you've done it as long as I have. I always say my first goal every year is I want to be excited every day to get out of the car.
Of course.
I want to be excited because I've coached teams. Sometimes you're like, oh boy, here we go. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
And so
are you excited about this team?
Yes, I am. I have no idea if we're any good or not. I have no idea. I don't think anybody knows.
That's right.
But I do know we have high character kids, and I think when you have that, they'll stay in the fight with you.
All right, Coach, you mentioned it's a little bit of a challenge understanding what your team is in the summers now because of course, the changing of college athletics. How frustrating is that for you, though?
Well, I just think you have to change your mindset to know that it's just going to take time. It's not going to happen as fast as you'd like. Yeah. We really just try to collect information in the summer.
Yeah.
That's what I'm just trying to get to know them. I want to see them play a lot. I think the best way to learn is to watch them play pickup or play 5-on-5. That's why we go live a lot in the summer.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of fun. You got a whole new, every year's a new year. It's sure not stale, I'll tell you that. And, it's interesting though, last couple of weekends was recruiting weekend. This weekend's recruiting weekend. And it's funny, everybody you run into, how you like your team? Oh, I love my team. Love my team. We got rid of all the bad apples. All the bad apples are gone. We got better chemistry. Well, none of us really know.
Yeah, you don't know now.
We haven't decided who's going to play, who's not going to play. You're going to have this role. You're going to have that role. You really have no idea. You don't know until rubber hits road.
That's right.
What you really have. And, at the end of the day, really, at this level, you've got to be shooting towards January and February and ultimately that first weekend of March.
Of course.
That's you just have to play the long game.
Yeah, and then when you talk about playing that long game, but even the process before that, pickup games, but do you make sure that it's an organized type of pickup, that you're wanting to put them in certain situations rather than it's just one thing to go out there and play pickup? Or is there a right way to play pickup?
There's very much a right way and a wrong way to play pickup, and we introduced that to them pretty quickly. But even when we worked out today, we really work out more than we practice. I don't want them to. It's a long season.
Yes.
It's a long season. They're here for 8 weeks in the summer, then they'll go home for 3 or 4 weeks, and we start back in September. Mm-hmm. It's just a long time. And I want our guys to be excited about playing in February, March. I don't want them to want it to be over. So we don't really treat it as practice. Our workouts in the summer are more, we're just play a lot. I know we try to introduce what we do and how we do it and how we go about our business. But for us, I want them to want to be here. Yeah. I don't want them to dread saying, oh my gosh, I got to go back in there today. I want them. I've never been any good in something that wasn't fun. I think they want to enjoy it, and particularly in the summer. And I mean, there's a standard, there's an expectation, but I don't have any interest in making them miserable.
That's right. Well, summertime, historically, I mean, that's a time people are on vacation. You're enjoying the summer. So there has to be some aspect of enjoying the process that you're going through as a player.
Yeah, it better be.
Yeah,
it better.
And
be.
even as a coaching staff.
I mean, I just want it to be a very positive environment. I want it to be a deal where they feel have fun. I want to give them confidence. We don't grind them in the summer. Now, we work hard.
Yeah.
I think the weight room is tremendously important in the summer. I think them figuring out, who their teammates are, like getting to know each other off the court is really important. But we don't do a lot of the team bond and stuff. Like I think most of those really good things are organic and natural. Now, camp is really big here. We have 4 weeks of camp, and that's kind of shared suffering.
Ooh, oh, yes, that is.
Those can be long days.
Long
and they all
days.
Work camp. And so we're together a lot, and I think those are the most genuine times you have. And so we've got another good group, and I want them, I tell them college basketball is about making memories.
Yeah.
When this is over, you want to have stories and you want to have memories. That's what I want them to do. And I don't want them to say, oh, my gosh, I was miserable for 10 months at Samford. I want them to think, golly, if I had a chance to go back, that's what I would do.
Yeah, I imagine they all have stories from camp, because I remember back in my day, camps, traveling all across the country to work all of the different camps.
You
had some stories.
Into coaching, though.
Yes,
that's how you got to know people.
That's right. That was the relationship building and trying to connect with other opportunities.
Yeah, I do want to write a book. In all seriousness, I do want to write a book, and I promise you one of my chapters in the book will be camp. Because there are things that go on in camp you can't make up.
That's right.
Last week we had 250 kids, and we had 95 kindergartners and first graders from 9 to 4. Some of those things you see with those little dudes, you can't even make it up.
You can't.
But it's fun. It's fun, and it's good for our guys. It's really good PR in our community. It's really good for them to get to know our players. And so, it was maybe a different way to go about it.
That's right. All right, what about the pickup games, you getting out there, showing your skills? Come on, Coach.
That ship has sailed long.
How long ago did that ship sail?
Long ago. I love playing.
Yeah, because you look like you could still go out there and dominate.
I was very, very limited. I was an average player who loved to play and might have got a little bit more on my ability than I should have. But, there was a real peace when it was over. I wasn't that guy that played a lot of pickup. That just wasn't my thing, because I had a real peace that I ran the ground ball all the way out, and I knew I wanted to coach. And so that's not, now I do try to take care of myself and all that, but the days of me being out there, that's long gone.
Not happening.
No.
All right. Even just from a perspective, I hear some baseball terminology.
Yeah.
How much you love baseball?
Oh, I love baseball. If I could have any job on earth, I would be the dugout coach for the Atlanta Braves.
Oh, there you go.
That's what I want to sit right next to Walt Weiss and say, hey, let's pinch hit for this guy. Hey, what do you think about bunt here? I'm a huge Braves fan. That's really, now I love college football. Obviously, I'm a big fan of college basketball, but really my only team is the Atlanta Braves.
Okay.
That's my team. That's my son and I. Every day we're talking this morning, man. We blew a 1-run lead last night. Yeah. And we got to get Riley hitting.
That's right.
208. We got to get him going. But ever since I was a little boy, I love the Atlanta Braves, and I love baseball. My son was a college baseball player, and so got to spend I have a lot of great stories and memories going through that with him, and learned a lot about it. It's a great sport. It's a thinking man's sport.
Oh, it definitely is. Well, my all-time favorite Atlanta Braves, Dale Murphy.
I
grew up with Dale Murphy as the man. Even on bad Braves teams, he's still NAL
was on a
MVP.
Bunch of bad teams.
Yes, he was.
But he was good. I remember when he caught the first couple of years, and then they moved him to the outfield because he had the yips and couldn't throw the ball back to the pitcher. Most people watching this have no idea we're talking about.
That's right.
They don't know who Dale Murphy is.
They have no idea.
But I love the Braves, the old light blue uniforms.
Yes.
You go to Fulton County Stadium, and true story, I saw the last game ever played in Fulton County Stadium. It was the Braves and Yankees in the World Series. I guess that would have been whatever the year of the Olympics was, 96.
96, yeah.
And it was Pettit and Smoltz, 1-0. And the Yankees beat them. And that was the year the Braves had 2-0 lead and got beat 4 straight. But I was at the last game ever at Fulton County Stadium. But
that's a memory.
Great memories.
Oh, yes,
Great
no
memories.
doubt. All right, so getting into coaching, though, for you, you're 25 years old. I don't know if many people at 25 would be ready for a head coaching job. Did you even feel you were ready?
No, I wasn't anywhere near ready. No, I was very, very fortunate to get that opportunity. But the reason I got that opportunity, nobody else wanted the job. I won't go into all the details about it, but it was not a great situation, but it was a great opportunity. And, when I got that job at Belhaven 36 years ago, I thought I was a head coach at Duke.
Yeah.
That's how I treat it.
Well, you had to treat it that way,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. And I think every year is the same way. I tell the coaches before we start, there's no dress rehearsal on this. This year is the most important year in these kids' lives.
Yeah.
And we need to give them
everything we can. And I don't care where you coach, high school, NAIA, junior college, it doesn't matter. Every year they should get your very best. And so I loved it there. It was great. I had 3 great years there. And I mean, I didn't know come here from Sikkim, but boy, I sure tried hard. And it was fun. And, you learned an awful lot for sure. And, there's 2 types of coaches, those that are humble and those that are about to be. You're going to get humbled.
You're going to get humbled at some point.
You're going to get humbled, and it happens to all of us. And boy, I got humbled. And
when did you first get humbled then?
Oh my goodness. I just some things in games where something happened. I'm like, we weren't ready for that. They just ran out of bounds, played late game, and we had nobody back. Or whatever it was. So many times I got humbled, and some nights where you thought, hey, we had a better team than them, but I got out coached. So you're going to get humbled. It's coming. It's coming. And so, but I was so fortunate to get that job. I tell young coaches all the time, the hardest thing to get on your resume is head coaching experience. So when you get a chance, as long as you feel like you got a chance to have some success, go for it, because it's the best way to learn.
Now, at that spot, though, there at Belhaven, were you just the basketball coach, or were you everything and anything?
I was,
because that's how those jobs were.
I actually, I remember, not to get too deep in the weeds, but they offered me the job for $18,000. I was going to be the head basketball coach, head golf coach, and head cross country coach, and for $18,000. And so now this was in 1990. And so I did some real deep negotiation. I said, look, I love golf too. And I said, if I would be the head basketball coach and head golf coach and let me have an assistant and pay him $5,000 and coach cross country. So that was me. And I remember my parents and my brother and some friends of theirs came down. We painted the locker room. We painted the bleachers in the gym. The golf team was a scores table. I mean, it was just unbelievable.
Yes, all hands on deck.
It was. I mean, you just did everything, and you didn't think anything about it. We drove vans everywhere we went. I drove one van, the assistant drove the other one. One thing I learned as a head coach, you never tell them what van you're driving, because nobody will get in your van. So nobody, the coaches can't go get in the van until it's time to go, and they see you get in the van. You're like, oh crap, I'm in here with this clown. But you would drive 3.5, 4 hours and play the game and drive back.
Suit and tie for you?
Back in those days, but my goodness, COVID was a very difficult time for so many people. But the one positive thing that came out of that in coaching is no more coat and tie.
That's right.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yes, and when I was coaching, I just remember it was one more thing to have to pack.
Oh, brutal.
And I forgot mine one time, and that's not a good situation when you don't have your suit.
And that and that's what everybody wore. At least in a sport coat. And when I was at Huntsville, towards the end, I started wearing a sweater vest, and I got the head coaching job at Lipscomb. And a legendary coach at Belmont, Rick Bird, who I admire so much, he always wore sweater vest. And I'm like, I'm sure as heck not going to Nashville 2 miles down the road from where he coached and wearing a sweater vest. So I had to go back to the coat and tie. But like on the road, I got to wear a different shirt, different tie. If you had 2 games, it was brutal. So now it's easy. Get it and roll. It works out good.
What's the hardest thing about coaching? Not just maybe coaching basketball, just coaching.
I tell you, this would be something and I'm not good at it. And I'm not good at a lot of things. This was the hardest part for me. I used to say the hardest thing about coaching was coaching kids you probably didn't really like or didn't enjoy being around. And I mean, you're always going to connect with certain kids more than others. That's just reality. If anybody says
life.
That, and it doesn't mean you don't care about them. That's right. You connect with some kids more than others. But the hardest thing for me by far is disappointing kids I really like, because it's inevitable. I mean, you walk in here, I've walked in here many times after a huge win, and this kid that is as good a kid as is on earth, there's nobody cares more than he does, and he didn't get to play, and he's disappointed.
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing for me, is disappointing kids I really like. But it's also inevitable. That's just part of leadership. You're going to disappoint people that you do care about. And there's going to be people mad at you when all you're trying to do is do your job. Because the quickest way, there's a million ways to succeed. Yeah. The quickest way to fail is try to make everybody happy.
Oh, you can't do it.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest part.
For certain. And just even from coaching and parenting, how much crossover is there,
Yeah,
in your opinion?
I think there's a lot. When I share at clinics, I say, if you ever think, if you want to know how much a coach matters, wait till your kid gets one.
Mm.
And, it's just so hard to see kids. You have children, I have children. The hardest thing to do is to see your child hurt.
No doubt.
It's awful.
It's awful.
I mean, it's awful. And so I've gone to games and, you just have to know it's part of it, but you'll be sitting there and you're like, you're going to get down to 7 or 8 guys by the end of the year. That's what you're going to play, most of us. And you'll go to the game and you'll walk out before the game. And I'd try not to look in the stands at all, but inevitably you'll walk out there and there'll be a parent. And you're like, they just drove 7 hours and their kid's not going to play.
Yeah. And you know it.
It's awful.
Yeah.
It's awful. And they're mad at you before the thing ever goes in the air. And that's probably the hardest part for me.
Do you ever have conversations with parents?
I don't know if that's really healthy. I do. But
yeah, it's not that you're avoiding them.
I do think, though, there's a time that you probably need to have a cooling off period.
Yeah.
I think probably there needs to be about 48 hours after the game. And then I'm comfortable talking one time, but now we're not going to be having weekly conversations. Yeah. And, because it's hard for everybody. Yeah. And it's not, I care. I mean, I really care. And I'd be lying if I said if I didn't care what they thought. But I also know you got to cut the emotion out of it at some point.
That's right.
But I would much rather talk to the kid. And, inevitably you're going to disappoint kids and they're going to think that you don't like them. And there's nothing to do with that. You have a job to do and you're paid to try to win games and do it in a way that the school would be proud of. But it's just, you can't play everybody.
That's right. And so how important is that to have those type of conversations early on, even when you're recruiting, in terms of, hey, this is how it could play out? I've
told every kid in that locker room, we don't promise you anything.
Yeah.
I want you to say when you leave here, he was fair and he was honest. And I'm flawed. There's times they may not think I'm fair because a lot of what I do is subjective.
That's right.
It's just, and you've done it. You get down to you'll sit in staff meetings and you'll spend 2 hours talking about the difference in 8 and 9.
Yeah.
But at some point you got to figure out who's 8 and who's 9. 8 plays, 9 doesn't.
Yeah.
Those are hard conversations, but we try to be transparent about it. But there also comes a point you can't talk to them about it every single day.
That's right.
It's like we got to move on.
Yes.
And we say be ready when your time comes. And there's been times that guys have really stepped up and really helped us when their time came.
Yeah. How often do you have the conversation, or I should say, when you're having some of those conversations with your coaching staff, in terms of how much leeway you give them as far as, okay, they're continuing to fight for a particular player, or they're continuing, to have certain sentiments that they believe in, but ultimately you have the veto power. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but
no, I won't.
But you can't keep having.
Yeah, you don't have the same conversation every single day.
Yes,
there just comes a point that we're all not going to agree. There's 7 coaches sitting in there, and they're all going to have an opinion. And but I said at the end of the day, everybody has a voice in that meeting. Mm-hmm. Everybody does. Everybody has a right to say what they want to say. But now, once the meeting is over, we have one voice. We go out and we're unified. I think what really hurts staffs is the meeting after the meeting. The meeting after the meeting where 2 of the assistants go down and close the door. And the meeting after the meeting's a killer. We don't need those. And, if there's something that needs to be said, come in here and we'll talk about it. But I think that's where the number one quality in any assistant is loyalty.
No doubt.
On any staff is loyalty.
It has to be.
You just can never doubt that because I'm going to be loyal to them.
Yeah.
And because the time comes, I'm going to fight like crazy to get those guys jobs and help them get to do what they want to do. We had 2 guys last year that were able to get jobs they were really excited about, and I was excited for them and their family. And I promise you, they did a great job for me, and I went to bat for them. Yeah. And but they were very, very loyal to me, and I reciprocate that. Yeah. But the meeting after the meeting, it's a killer.
That's right.
Like we all have to be unified, and we all have to be pulling. Everything you're looking for in these jobs is top-down alignment. President, board, athletic director, head coach, staff. There's got to be top-down alignment.
For sure. How much pride do you have when your coaches do get an opportunity that they're excited about?
Oh, it's so good. And and it's so neat for their families because, coaching is a family business.
It is.
It's a family business. And it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. Winning is hard. Getting jobs is hard. And we've all had situations where you thought, I deserve that job, and you don't get it. And when you get involved in jobs, I tell them, like, there's no silver medal. There could be 100 people applying for the job and you finish second. You're no different than the other 98. There's one person that's going to be happy at the end of the day. And so when you see guys get opportunities, that's really cool for them and their family. And, because you just share a lot. It's just an awful lot that goes into it.
Yeah. So through your coaching career, were you seeking opportunities on a consistent basis, or there were opportunities coming to you because of the success you had?
Well, I tell a lot of coaches that have asked about it, I said, look, you don't need to look at me. Like, I've been blessed. God's grace, God has blessed me amazingly. I got a head job when I was 25 for 3 years. We did okay. We did better than they'd done. Then I go to Berry College, which was an incredible job. I was there for 4 years. What a beautiful campus.
Yes, it is.
I'd put Samford and Berry up against anybody's campus. I was there for 4 years. And then I had the chance to go home, which sometimes is not great.
That's right.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
And, we were really fortunate there. I think, now Huntsville is, they're a top 10 program almost every year. But what people don't realize, when we first went there 29 years ago, I was there for 22, they'd had one winning season in 16 years. Mm. It was not near as good a job as I left at Berry, but we had just had our first son, my son that's on my staff now, Will, and it was a chance to go home and raise him around my parents, and my wife was great about that. And we went and we made that home. But I didn't go there to leave. I went to stay.
To stay.
Yeah. And I think a lot of times when you go to take a job to leave, you're shortcutting it, and that'll get you in trouble. I said, we're going to take high school kids. We're going to redshirt them. We're going to build this thing because I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
And then, then some opportunities came, but the Alabama Huntsville was really, really good to me. And our family had a great quality of life. I say, you don't mess with happy.
That's right.
We were really happy, and we were winning, and we were really blessed. They took good care of us as a family. And so that was awesome. And also, raising children is hard, as you know.
Yes.
It's really, really hard.
Really
and so
hard.
when our children got in the 7th grade, my wife and I, Kelly, we made the decision we would not move until they were out of school. Yeah. And then after they got out of school, then we'll figure it out. And then shortly thereafter, the Lipscomb job came about, and we took it. I was extremely blessed to go there. I loved every second I got to coach there, and was very thankful for that opportunity.
Was that a difficult decision, though, to leave Huntsville?
It really wasn't. I had an incredible peace.
Yeah.
I thought it was probably time. I probably needed a re-energizing, a new challenge. And, and there's a part of you is always like, can we do it in Division I? We'd had a ton of, the only thing we
did you view it as a challenge?
Oh, very much.
Yeah.
Very much. I really wanted to win a national championship at Huntsville. We came really close 3 or 4 different times, but we didn't win it. But I'm like, if that's going to be the only barometer for me, thinking this has been successful, then I'm very short-sighted. You're always going to be disappointed. So, yeah, but the chance, I said, let's see if we can do it in Division I. And I was really fortunate. I'm forever thankful for the athletic director there, Philip Hutchinson, giving me the opportunity, and they were extremely supportive. And it was a great 6 years.
Yeah, Nashville's not a bad town either.
It was good.
Yeah.
We enjoyed it very much. So tremendously blessed. And, segue into coming here, I was 99% sure that I would finish at Lipscomb. We really enjoyed it. It was great. And, but then when Samford called, I was in no way unhappy. I loved it at Lipscomb. I could talk for 3 days and not say one bad thing about it. I loved it there. I loved who I worked for. I loved the administration. I loved our team. But we made the NCAA tournament that year, and Bucky goes to Texas A&M, and Martin Newton called me when I was at the Final Four. We got together, and I'm an Alabama guy.
Yeah.
My daughter lives here. She was expecting her first grandchild. And I was able to hire my son. And this, honestly, sure, I'm from Alabama. Coaching in Alabama at Auburn would have been the ultimate thing. But in my career, I knew that wasn't going to happen. But Samford's always kind of been my dream job. When I coached at Huntsville, we used to have the conference tournament finals were here. The semifinals and finals were here. And, oh, man, we had great memories in this building. Every time I drove on this campus, I'm like, oh, my goodness, what a gold mine this is.
It's a beautiful
Oh,
campus.
it's so pretty. And, you know, and so when Martin offered me the opportunity and Dr. Taylor, I was like, it's something I really wanted to do. And again, it was nothing. I was not unhappy at all. But I've loved every single minute of it, and it's really been a great year.
Can you put it into words, the difference in terms of being a parent and a grandparent?
Wow, that's a great question. I told you I went home today to see my grandson, Rustin. You know, one of the coolest things is seeing your daughter become a mom. Yeah, she's awesome. I'm so proud of her. But it's just like you get a little bit of a do-over. You know, it's like, so, and you know, also the reality is you're not going to be there for 50 years of their life.
That's right.
And, you know, it's been really a blessing. I'm so thankful we get to see them almost every day. My wife, Kelly, gets to see them all the time. She keeps them, and it's really a blessing, and we're excited, for them and hopefully a few more.
Yeah. I'm still just blown away with the miracle of life.
Yes.
I mean, it just astounds me how it happens.
Yeah. It's God is good.
Yes.
And, to see the miracle of him and, her pregnancy wasn't easy, and, to see where that ended, and really thankful for my son-in-law. And, my son just got married to a wonderful young lady he met at Lipscomb. And so he worked for me for 1 year up there, a couple years up there. And so we're so blessed to have our whole family here. I thought this would be a really good way. I mean, I'm obviously on the back nine of my career. I hope I'm going to do it a while longer. I'd like to keep going for a while. But I'm also realize, there's a lot more yesterdays than there are tomorrows. And so it makes you value every day.
Of course.
But I still really, really enjoy it. I try real hard to take care of myself so I can still have good energy and still be very involved. And I'd love to. I told my daughter, Molly, I said, I am not finishing this thing. As long as they have me here at Samford, I said, I'm not finishing until Rusty can go on road trips with me and sit on the bench.
There you go.
Yeah, he's coming to camp, and we're going to do all that.
Yes. Okay. And just even, from that perspective, as far as retirement, will you ever retire? You don't seem like a guy that can just sit around.
Well, I love coaching. I do. And, but there'll come a time when I'm maybe not the best person for the job. And I understand that. I would never want to do it if I felt like I didn't have the energy or the capacity to do it.
Yeah, if you're not living it.
Yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't do that because that wouldn't be fair. But I still really, really, really enjoy it. That's why it's so important who we bring in, because you're going to do a good job with teams you enjoy.
Yeah.
And I'd love to keep doing it for a while longer, but now there's no way I have any interest in doing anything else. I mean, of retiring, of doing nothing. I should rephrase that. Like, I'd love to do something to help somebody. Like I told them, I'll go be a volunteer middle school coach, but I'm not sitting at that house all day. My wife doesn't want me there. I don't want to be there. But I want to do something to help people. And, and I've seen, like, my parents, they live in Huntsville, and we're so blessed that they're both still with us. And my dad works for my brother, and my sister works for my brother. And so the value of family is it means a lot. And, but I don't think I'll ever not do something. I would want to have something to do, but I really and Bucky did an incredible job here. Bucky is the epitome of leaving it better than he found it. I mean, what an incredible job. I think you would be so remiss if you don't recognize what he did. If you go in our practice facility, well, that's because of Bucky. Yeah. I mean, like the energy and the enthusiasm he brought that allowed our administration to be able to secure the funding for the support to really be true. And you got a president like Dr. Taylor and an athletic director like Martin Newton, like, to see them support the program. But Bucky did an incredible job here. And I want to leave it better than I found it. Yeah. When that time comes, I want to say, you know what, we advanced it. And now it's time to hand the baton to someone else. Yeah. Well, when you hand the baton, what about you go be a golf pro? Hey, I will be a lot of things. I will never be, and I might be the cart guy. I'll be what's the starter? That guy, the guy that gets mad at you if you're 5 minutes late or whatever. But
or you can go in the Braves dugout.
I would do that.
Yeah, you would do that. Right
that
now.
would be the one job I'd leave Samford for.
Oh, okay.
I would go be coach for the Braves tomorrow. But no, I'm so thankful to be here. I think there's a ton of potential here. I think we can do a lot. It's not easy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, winning is hard.
Hard.
It is hard to win one game.
Yes, and I don't know if fans really understand how hard it is. You've been coaching long enough. You've seen it. You've lived it. It is extremely hard to have sustained excellence and continue to win at a high level.
It is, and what people understand, like the other team has scholarships.
Yes.
They have good players.
That's right.
And I can tell you, this league is an incredibly well-coached league. It is, the one thing I haven't enjoyed, there's two things I'd say that are so hard, is mid-major tournaments. Brutal.
In what way?
Just the pressure. Because it's a one-bid league.
Yes, it is.
Now, our tournament, the Southern Conference tournament, is awesome. It is so well ran. I tip my hat to the conference office and the people in Asheville, Jeff Cade, and those guys. What a great job they do. It is a jewel. But boy, the pressure, it's really, really hard to win that thing.
It is.
And I told somebody the other day, we were talking about, I said, here's the reality. Everybody in our league is heavily invested in men's basketball. Okay. Relative to what people think, they're invested. Well, there's going to be one team on March, whatever night that is, the Monday night of the championship game. There's going to be one team leave there really happy. The other 10 are going to be disappointed.
That's right.
It's not a multiple bid league. I think that ship has sailed. That's reality. We're a one bid league. And I don't care who doesn't believe that. I mean, it's a one bid league.
It is.
And, you know, hopefully you have a good enough team if you have a second team to get an NIT or whatever. But we're a one bid league. And so mid-major tournaments, oh my gosh, I had my heart just ripped out a couple of times at Lipscomb. Even last year, I thought we were playing great.
Yeah, you were down the stretch.
And we caught, you know, the hottest team in the league, and Furman played great, and they beat us, and you know, then they win the thing. And so the other thing that I probably haven't enjoyed as much about this league, and I had a lot of respect for the guys that coach in the A-Sun, but I probably am closer to the coaches here. I don't like coaching against friends. I don't like coaching against guys I've known for a long time. I don't know. You don't want it to be personal, and you know, I don't like losing. I also don't like seeing them lose. Yeah. And you know, you have to. I tell the guys a lot, coach with blinders on. Like, don't even look, just coach your team. And but still, everybody's competitive. And somebody will say something, and you're mad, and they're mad. And, you know, I have learned, you know, you don't take it personal. But I have so much respect for the coaches in this league. I mean, I'm telling you, every night I left there, and I'll be like, man, he does a good job. Yeah. God, he's a good coach.
Is that one of the most surprising, or what was the most surprising thing for you coming into Southern Conference?
I think the parity in the league, the travel for us is hard. We're an outlier school.
That's right.
You know, those are some tough road trips, Thursday, Saturday. But just, I thought the coaching was really good. You better be buttoned up. Yeah. Like, these guys know what they're doing.
They do.
They know what they're doing.
Talented coaches, talented players also.
And it's interesting, you got a mix of like older guys, and you're not going to see some older guys that are probably, you know, this may be where they finish, and then a lot of up and coming guys. And so it's a nice mix of coaches, but guys I think very, very highly of and really like. Always enjoy seeing them. I mean, I didn't know Tim Kraft till I got in the league. Got to know him, really like him. I didn't know Mike at Greensboro, really like him. You know, just guys I really didn't know. And so it's you know, those are, you want it to be, you know, we can be rivals. We don't have to be enemies.
That's right.
That's not, I don't know how healthy that is.
Yeah. All right. When you talk about assistant coaches, though, you mentioned your son, Will, joining the staff. Mm-hmm. So who convinced who? Did you convince him, or did he come to you and say, hey, Dad, I'm ready?
I promise you this. I tried everything I could for him not to go into coaching.
You did?
Yeah. I was like, there's got to be something else you want to do. I mean, it's not easy.
It's not.
It's not.
So why did you try to convince him not to coach?
Because I know how hard it is. And I know that, you know, there's a lot of sacrifices. There's a lot of, you know, you're going to have to move. If you're going to coach in college, you're going to have to move. He never moved. Because he was born in Rome, Georgia. 6 months later, we moved to Huntsville. He went to college there. He went all the way through and never moved. And even though I think it's good to get out of your comfort zone, it's hard. It's tough on a family. And And so I thought there's got to be a better way. Because, I mean, there's nothing like winning, and there is nothing like losing.
Yeah.
It is miserable. It is miserable. And there is a point, I've tried to get better at it, that almost when you win, you're almost more relieved than you are happy. It's like, I don't have to be miserable for the next 5 days.
Yeah.
But I have gotten to where I really do try to enjoy it when we win. I mean, I don't think you should apologize for that. Like, it bothers me none when the other coach is fired up that they win. You better be. If we won, I'd be excited.
Yes, of
I'm
course.
not mad at you for that.
Yeah, because it's so hard to win.
It is so hard to win. And so, but the thing that has been an incredible blessing for me is talking about a little bit with your grandson, you have a do-overs. It's like I get a chance to kind of put more, when you're raising children. I've heard John Kroll from the Big Oak Ranch say, he said, it's like you're packing a suitcase. And every day that suitcase is closing a little bit more.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I got to open it up and spend a little bit more time with him. And that's really, whether you're sitting on the bus or you're sitting in the hotel, it's, but I'm still his dad, and sometimes he don't want me around either. That doesn't change. And so, but I am really, really proud of him. And obviously I enjoy it, and I think he's got a great future.
Yeah. How do you handle losses then?
Not well. Not well.
Do you have a process?
I try really hard not to take it home. I don't think that's fair. I've tried really hard particularly when the kids were at home. And
because they need to see you as dad.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard people say, and it sounds really good in a clinic, but there's got to be a certain point on the way home, a stop sign or whatever. You say, hey, this is over, and I got to go home and be present. I tell you what helped when my kids were growing up was they both were athletes and had things going. Like, you could look forward to their games and be like, okay, this could kind of be my disconnect. This could be my way to get my mind to get away from it. But it's hard. And, it's hard. I second guess myself a lot. Like, we should have done this. I mean, there's things I think about in the Furman game that we lost in the conference tournament. Like, we should have done this.
Yeah, so you're still thinking about it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And that's the hard part. I can probably name you 7 or 8 of the toughest losses I've ever had right now, and I can tell you right now, you never forget those. You never forget those. And so, but also I've learned, like, when we made the NCAA tournament at Lipscomb, like, this is a great story. The year before, or really 2 years before, we lost in just gut-wrenching fashion. Like, just at the end, our team, 20-game winners, really good teams. The year before, kid throws a shot in, falling down from 30 feet at the buzzer to beat us and knock us out of the tournament. And but then all the guys on that team came back because they wanted a chance to win a championship. And we at that time, the A-Sun played the championship on their home court. And I tell this story, it's really hard not to even get emotional. And we had 3 or 4 really good players that came back. They could have went other places. And so we had the championship game at home, sold out. It was an incredible environment. And we're up late, and they shoot and miss, and the other team's not going to foul. And we're dribbling the clock out, and there's 6,000 people going crazy. And every kid on that court is crying.
Oh.
I mean, they're weeping. And you're like, that's pretty cool.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. If that don't give
special.
you goosebumps.
It gives me goosebumps right now. I can get emotional.
And you know what? 4 of those kids have come back and work camp here. They're pros. 3 of them. They're pros. 4. They're pros. And they come back and they work camp. 3 of them are going to be here next week. I mean, those are my guys.
Yes.
Those are my guys.
Those are the guys that live it.
And they're all killing it overseas. They're all doing really well. But just to see, because it's hard.
Yes.
And when you get you're just guts ripped out. And to see, I mean, like, you think about what Furman did a couple years ago. Chattanooga hits the shot from half court, and to those kids' credit, they came back and then they won it. I mean, it's so hard, but boy, if you can push that thing over the hill, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It's very cool. What do you use for motivation? How do you motivate yourself?
I just want to be the best version of myself. I try real hard. I'm very flawed, very, 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 very flawed, and have so many shortcomings. But I don't want to let people down. I don't want to let Dr. Taylor down. That's our president. I don't want to let Martin Noon down. I don't want to let our board down, and I sure don't want to let these kids down. And
so does that drive you then?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to do a good job, and I think every year I've got to get better. Like I've got to get better, and there's things, but I'm thinking right now, like I've got to be better at this for our team, and so I think at the end of the day, I just don't want to let people down.
Yeah.
And that's probably not healthy. So it's like the therapist is here. You're like, you're worried about what other people think. Yeah. And that can't be your happiness. But I do want to be the best version of myself. And I want them to say, you know what, coach he's with us. I think that's the greatest compliment you can have is, hey, he's with us.
That's right.
And I do care about him. And even though, again, there's going to be I'll stand up here at first game and there's going to be our team sitting here. There's going to be a lot of kids that are going to be disappointed, but I still do care.
Yeah. All right. What's your daily routine to get yourself, in that mindset of trying to be the best version of yourself, other than yourself?
As I've gotten older, I don't know how it is for you, but I sure really enjoy the mornings. I like getting up early.
I'm a morning person.
And I think you can win the day. I share with the kids, if I could do something, if I could go back 30 years ago, I would say, be really selfish in the morning so you can be unselfish the rest of the day. Do the hard things first. And that's, getting up and, really trying to be intentional with your time and reading and trying to be, have a spiritual side to you and having a quiet time. And I'm not perfect at that, but that's what I want to do. And, just being able to, and then working out. And I just think by the time I get to 8:30 or 9, like the hard things need to be done. And I need to be able to be good the rest of the day for other people.
Yeah. Okay. So I need to know, where do you get all of these sayings? Who's your ghostwriter? Because you've got a million of them.
Yeah.
And even Cade talked about what you just mentioned. And I guess you have another terminology for it. Eat a frog.
Yeah, eat the frog.
Eat the frog.
Do the hard things early. Do the hard things early. I read a lot. And so when I read something and I think it's good, I send it to myself, and I've got like a file where I keep all that stuff. And I think kids want to hear stories, and they want to hear things that they can remember. And it does mean a lot to me that not all of them, but some of the kids that have played for me say, Coach, the coolest thing is like, I remember the things you talk about before practice. And, if the only days you go to work is when you feel like it, you never have a job. There's going to be hard times.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to, it's just, you just got to outlast those things sometimes.
That's
and
right.
So, no, I do like to read a lot. And, my dad was a good wordsmith. He's had a lot of good things I got.
Yeah, you've got that skill set.
Yeah. And so, but also I'm old but I like simple things, and it don't take a whole lot to make me happy. It just doesn't.
Well, I am big on kind of the phrases and the mantras also. And I have experienced, even with my kids, I would take them to school in the mornings and I would do weekly words of wisdom. Awesome. And I made almost like a little song to start it off. And this is when they were, in elementary, middle school. Mm-hmm. They would roll their eyes. They would be all, frustrated that they didn't get to listen to Mike and Mike. Right. I'd turn it down or whatever. But years now have gone by, and they talk about some of those things that I had mentioned, in the car.
That's the real goosebump moment.
Yes.
That's a real goosebump moment.
I mean, it's so I know your players can experience that. For Cade to mention, I asked him what his favorite saying was from you, and he talked about that, eat the frog. Yeah. So it's having an impact on these players.
Well, I hope, I just say, just always think every day, what if that was me? Learn how to enter other people's world. It's not about you.
Yeah, that's right.
I promise. Once we figure that out, and that's because this is not about me. I'm so fortunate to be here, but like talk to the kids. They play but go be a blessing every day. Just always think, what if that was me? And just know that for the grace of God go I. For the grace of God go I, because I see coaches that I'm like, they shouldn't get fired. I don't think it's right. I'm like, there's no way he should have lost his job. But for the grace of God go I. And you know what? You might want to check on that guy. Yeah. You don't want to give him a call.
That's right.
And say, hey, are you okay? Send him a text. Like, if you need to talk, I'm here.
That's right.
And support. It's always that thing. You win a game, say you have a huge win, and you get on the bus or whatever after the game and you've got 400 texts. That's awesome. Now, when you lose, you better hope you got a couple of aces in your hand and you're going to get that text.
Those texts might mean a little bit more.
Yeah, that's the ones you need to check on when they're struggling and when they're going through a tough time.
Yeah, for certain. And just from the perspective of, you talk about the flaws that you have, and I think you've beaten yourself up. I don't know if you have as many flaws as you think you might do.
Believe me, I do. Go ahead.
How important, though, is it to be able to showcase not only kids as a parent, but also as a coach to the players that, yes, you are flawed and you do make mistakes and own up to those mistakes, but where it's not just cliche, oh, it was my fault, just where it's you're shrugging it off.
I really do try to be transparent with them.
Yeah, and humble.
I try. And, I would hate to be judged by my worst decision at 19 years old. I mean, that wouldn't be good.
I'm glad we didn't have social media back in the day, Coach.
And I'm glad that they didn't see me some of the things that just stupid. And that's why I really try to, forgive quickly. Life is too short.
Yeah.
Life is too short. But also, I will tell them, like, I've screwed up. Like, if I screw the game up, I'll tell them. Like, we stayed in the zone too long, or we should have went zone, or I should have called timeout. I mean, I remember we lost at Notre Dame, 5 or 6 years ago, and I should have called timeout. We lost by 1 point. We had a 4-point lead, like 50 seconds ago. We lose by 1, and I should have called timeout. That was on me. Like, they played well enough, and I completely messed that up. But I think owning it and just saying, hey, I'm sorry. And I'm going to try to be better.
Yeah. Well, that might be one of those games that you talked about. You still have that one in the memory bank.
Oh, yeah. That would been really cool to win at Notre Dame. And Mike Bray's been a really good friend of mine, but I liked him, and I sure wanted to win that game, I'll tell you that.
I know you did,
yeah.
Yes. All right, so moving into 2026 season here. Again, I know you're still trying to learn your team and all that, but what can the Samford fan base, what can they be excited about with this version?
I think we'll be a team that's easy to cheer for. I thought our team last year was an easy I thought we were fun. I thought we were an easy team to cheer for. I think I know we're deeper. I don't think we'll be as reliant upon one or two guys. I think we'll be more balanced. I think you'll see carryover from last year. We've had some guys come back that have made big jumps. We were just playing. It was when I was at Huntsville, I redshirted almost everybody. Yeah. And I would have teams that had start 5 fifth-year seniors sometimes. We were playing chess. We were old and we were mature and you just saw those guys grow and they would work while they waited. But it's been really refreshing to see some of the guys that are back make big jumps because they didn't leave.
That's right.
And they worked. And now they know how we do things. They understand how we play and they got enough reps in, and I'm just real proud of those guys. I think, a lot of times we sign this guy, we sign that guy, and I really like every kid we sign. I do. I think they're perfect for us. Some of them are just maybe even better than I thought, but every one of them's a fit. But those dudes that stuck with you, I'm into that now.
Yeah.
And I'm really proud of how they made a big jump. I think that I think we're really skilled. Mm-hmm. I think we'll play well together, but I have no idea if we're any good or not. I don't. And I don't think any of us will know till January.
Yeah.
I think when you get to January, you'll say, okay, wow, they may be a little better than everybody else, or this team's not quite as good. But I think we can be competitive.
Oh yeah. I would think so too.
Yeah.
What I saw out there. Yeah.
I think we can be competitive.
Definitely will be competitive.
And I think we'll get better as we go.
Okay. Well, Coach, best of luck 2026 season. I can't thank you enough. And can we talk X's and O's next time?
Anytime. I enjoy talking. And so this has been great. Thank you for what you do for the Southern Conference. Thank you guys. I appreciate y'all being here. Y'all been great.
Oh, it's fantastic. We appreciate everything. Thank you, Coach.